All righty then. Should we go there?
Well, unfortunately, I think I know where you mean because there's only one place left to go. So let's go there. The main event, the
We
world
could go
champion,
home.
the world champion, Jon Moxley. We take his word for it. We haven't seen this belt in a long time. Versus Adam the Cope, or Adam just Cope, Copeland.
Adam the Cope Edgeland.
He's a
Adam
legend.
Cope.
The legend with the EDGE in it.
The illegible legend. Now, right there, that's got to be a nickname. The illegible legend. And that could be for one of these guys who just scribbles their autograph at FanFest.
You know, I'll let you do the review, obviously, but this match was horrible. And I really started to enjoy it. For this, when I told you I enjoyed things for the wrong reasons, by the end of this match, I was enjoying it for every reason that was wrong because it was so bad. And every movement Moxley makes around the ring is ridiculous. Every movement, he like sticks his shoulders back and his chest up, but like he goes nowhere. Then he turns around and walks back to where he came from. So
yes, he turns and it's like one of those goddamn things that when it bumps into something, it changes direction.
But my question was going to be, this match was awful, and the fans didn't like it, and AEW's fans didn't like it, and AEW's fans are sick of Moxley and the Death Rider stuff. But how much of it was that, and how much of it is nothing should have followed that cage match, let alone the Tony Storm match? How could you follow that cage match?
Well, it's a combination of everything. Because if you look at it in fairness to these individuals, let's look at it from their side before we switch over to the right side. One guy's 40 years old and facially looks 60, even though he's gotten in better shape physically. I guess being stretched by all those Home Depot clerks, got him in shape. But one guy's 40 and one guy's in his early 50s, and they're going on the 13th match after, let's see, the bell rang at 3.5 hours into the pay-per-view. So 5 hours into the overall presentation here in this arena. And they've seen 12 matches and everything in the world has been done. So even the best talent under the best of circumstances would have had trouble having these people on the edge of their seats unless they were about to fall off because they had gone to sleep and their legs had gone numb. But having said that, on the other side of things, the combined age in this main event is fucking 90-something. And while Edge has been a top-level talent, he's in his early 50s and seen his better days. Dick the Boozer, his work, as we've many times mentioned, is fucking rotten. And his matches are never any good because he has this personality in mind that he just doesn't look like, and it's just goofy. And then the entire issue has been garbage because the Death Riders thing has been the Boar Horseman. It's bored everybody. Nobody cares. It's tanked the ratings. I mean, nobody understands it. He's a raving idiot. Pac pops in every now and then. Claudio just does what he's told like a lurch. And there's old Wheeler popping up looking like a goddamn store clerk every now and then to get his ass kicked. It's just nobody cared. I don't think they would have cared if this is the first thing they'd seen because, did I mention, Moxley's matches are garbage. And then they ring the bell. And as the fans are sitting there and staring at them, they traded forearms. You know how many forearms they traded, Brian?
No.
Do you know how many forearms they traded?
I don't know, no.
70 forearms. And sometimes they were the quick ones, and sometimes they were the drawback and throw ones, and sometimes they sold them, and sometimes they didn't, and sometimes they looked stiff, and sometimes they were phony as a football bat. But there were 70 of them, and then one bump. And I mean, it, like you said, I zoned out because this Moxley is spastic, but the things he does, most of them don't look good. And the ones that might look good don't make any sense. And his psychology, if you can even apply that word, doesn't count. And poor Edge is trying to do these modern type of matches that the indie crowd likes. And they did about 20 minutes of that. And then finally, well, not finally, but to start telling you how this weirdness unfolded, Moxley brings in a chair and the referee takes it away. And Edge rolls Moxley up, but Moxley kicks him off and Edge nails the referee and the referee takes a nice bump to the floor. Now, of course, haven't we just seen that goddamn spot? Who the kick? Yeah, they kicked over, the pancaked Nana in the corner 3 matches ago, right? Same roll up, kick out, roll up, kick out, ref gone. Okay.
What did you think about how physical and verbal Bryce Remsburg all of a sudden was?
Well, they probably told him to be that way. And that's why he decided to take the opportunity to actually stand up and look like an official. But you know, again, in this company, you can't be a referee and have any integrity whatsoever because they're going to bury you deeper than Long John Silver's pirate treasure every match. It's just, it's unavoidable. But anyway, the referee's down. He's going to be down for about 3 minutes from being hit from behind and falling through the ropes. So at that time, both Edge and Dick the Boozer are selling. Moxley crawls over to Edge next to him, covers his mouth and talks to him for a second, and then gets up and rolls out and gets a couple of chairs.
Yeah, what was that?
I swear to God that happened.
Yeah.
He crawled over next to him and put his hand up over his mouth like a stage whisper, like.
He didn't even try to hide it. It was right in front of the camera.
No, he didn't try to hide it by trying to hide it. He obviously was trying to hide it. That's how it wasn't hidden. It's like he needed Harley Cameron and her ventriloquism or her cunning linguism or whatever it may be. So then he goes out and gets the 2 chairs and goes to set up a concerto on Edge, but Edge kicks the chair in Moxley's face and they do a double clothesline. Both of them are down. The crowd is sitting in enraptured silence. And here comes Wheeler out to a small smattering of groan type boos, like And he gets in the ring, and as they're both standing up, he's milking which one he's going to hit. And they're obviously standing up next to each other without trying to make any offensive move toward each other so that they can be part of this decision that we are expected to believe that Wheeler is anguishingly making. And then he gives Edge the knee. And he goes against the briefcase and gives it to Moxley. But here comes Light Switch Jay White. And he gets on Wheeler and grabs the case and swings at Moxley. But Moxley moves out of the way and White bashes Edge over the head with the briefcase. And then Wheeler and Jay White fight off. So that, yes, every great once in a while I can think of a triple threat with Undertaker as the referee with Shawn and Brett one time. You do the deal where the babyface looks like an imbecile and hits his own person he's trying to help when the heel ducks, but normally that's a spot that goes the other way around. The babyface ducks out of the way of the heel. But since White looks like a goddamn blithering idiot most of the time anyway, who gives a shit? So they're gone, and Moxley covers Edge, and the referee rolls in. 2 count. God. Now Mox is trying to push the referee around, but Edge hits Moxley with a spear. 2 count. And he hits him with 2 more spears. 1, 2. Whoosh. The referee is pulled out of the ring by a guy in a hoodie who is revealed to be Brian. You did it again, kid. Christian Cage. Christian Cage is now at ringside, and he hit Edge over the head with the metal thing holding the contract, and then signed the contract and made it a triple threat match, which now the announcers are saying, well, that means it's no DQ now. What the fuck? And then Christian spears Edge, 2 count. And then Christian gives the unprettier, it used to be, what is it now? The kill switch to Edge. But as he does that, Moxley jumps back in and grabs the choke on Cage and holds on. And while Edge is laying there unconscious from the Zabada that Christian hit him with, Moxley chokes Cage and the referee calls for the bell.
Well, there was the one spot, though, where Moxley had him in the choke and Christian put his hand over Edge. Oh, I forgot, Cage.
Yes. Yeah. That was...
that was a good spot.
Yeah. Well, it was a good spot, except when you think about it, he's got this fucking supposed goddamn brutal choke on his guy. He calmly puts his hand on him. 1, 2, no. But it was cute. But nevertheless, he chokes out a guy that wasn't even in the match until 30 seconds ago while Edge is laying there unconscious, and then grabs the briefcase and leaves. And the fans are booing. And again, it's not like did it come off to you like the heel is one booing, or
no?
We didn't like this bullshit at all booing.
This was a bullshit booing, and the place came alive when Christian showed up because it was something.
It was something after over 20 fucking minutes of this, after all the other shit they'd seen. At least Christian is there. Okay, is there going to be a title change? I think that's what they were thinking.
I think they also wanted the Moxley stuff to end, and the idea is if he loses the title, it's over. This is the first time we've seen Christian without any backup. I'm pretty sure Mama Wayne could take Moxley. They weren't out there to help him for the first time, anything he's done in a long time. Also, why cash in there when you can wait like 5 minutes for them to kick the shit out of each other more and one of them to win?
And cash in on one guy.
And cash in on one guy, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying this made any sense. I was just reporting how it happened, officer. I'm doing the official arrest report on this thing, not trying to fucking litigate it in court. None of it made any sense, but it also pissed the people off. Because what the fuck? And you're right. They were up for that last 45 seconds because they thought something's going to happen. Well, they didn't realize something did happen, but that wasn't what they wanted to happen. And 26 minutes of boredom with a fuck at the end. And not even a heel fuck on the baby face, but a heel fuck on the other heel. And also Christian cashes in after all this time and makes it 30 seconds and gets choked out. I mean, find me something good about this for anybody.
And now I guess we're going to get more Edge versus Christian, which I don't know if anyone else wanted that right now. Has Edge put over anyone? I saw this brought up the other day. Since he returned to wrestling, is there a younger wrestler that he has actually put over?
I mean, he's let Danny Garcia and the likes beat on him for 20 minutes before he beats them. But in all honesty, you can say that 2 ways. Edge has not put over any younger wrestler, and Edge hasn't been in the ring yet with anybody that he should have put over.
Maybe.
Think about it.
Maybe. But now
another case of there you are.
Well, there we are. We'll get him against Christian. Again,
and that's the thing. That's the way they're going, because Edge was flat of his back, didn't know what the fuck was going on, but he'll find out later that Christian cost him his chance at the title. He had Moxley covered. So Christian and Edge have heat with each other again.
Yeah.
Cage has lost his chance at the title as long as Moxley holds it. And as Moxley was leaving, they were careful to keep the camera on him as he went through the crowd and back into one of the breezeways long enough that you knew that there's more shit going to go on. And then up walks Prince Nana to confront Moxley in a breezeway, and suddenly a dozen security guards appear. Now, bear in mind, there were all kinds of goddamn people getting in fights that weren't involved in this match a minute ago. There wasn't a security guy to be seen, but now that two guys are staring at each other in a mean fashion, there's a dozen of them there. And right at that point, the camera backs up and you see Swerve in the balcony, and he jumps off the balcony with a double stomp on Moxley, with the 12 security guards as spotters.
Yeah.
And that's when we went off the air.
So that's what I guess we have to look forward to now. Moxley versus Swerve. Oh, boy.
Which one will drink the blood and which one will eat the bones?
And then we got Christian versus Edge, the Ontario Sammy versus Kevin.
That will be a combined age of 106 in the new youthful promotion.
You know, like I said before, AEW hardcore fans loved this pay-per-view event, and even they got to the point where they were fed up with this main event and the finish. It's two different things. They didn't like the match, and then the finish pissed them off. It's almost like a slap in the face. Some people think Tony's just waiting for Darby to come back. Some people think it'll be something else.
Is he really going to climb that fucking mountain? Because I don't know. I might be taking an office pool on whether Darby comes back or not if he's going to climb that stupid fucking mountain. And here's another goddamn thing. With business the way it is right now, why don't Tony Khan put his big boy pants on, tell Darby, the world adventurer, hey, I got a contract on you and I'm paying you money. Get off the fucking mountain and come back here and fucking help me draw some. The fuck? Oh, sure, you could have 6 months off with pay to go climb Mount fucking Everest. Good God.
We will see what happens. That was AEW Revolution.